Tonight on Connecticut's news station, the busy Labor Day travel period is well underway, and we have team coverage tracking the roads and the sky.
And a man in custody after 3 suspicious devices are found near government buildings. What police are telling us tonight.
Plus, we're getting an update on the flood cleanup process still underway in some towns in our area, what the governor is saying about the progress made.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Bridget Piorlo.
And I'm Brent Harden. The Labor Day weekend travel rush is on and drivers can expect more company on the roads. Fox 61 has you covered with everything you need to know before you head out the door.
Monday is expected to be the most crowded on the road this Labor Day weekend, so let's take a look at what it looks like right now. This is the greater Connecticut area. Green is what you want to see on the map, but you'll notice more orange and red forming. So let's zoom in closer to see what the greater Hartford area is looking like. Some places, especially in the West Hartford area, are stop and go right now, marked by the orange and red on your screen, especially 84 eastbound lanes. 91 looking much better as you see traffic moving in both directions, but AAA says this could all change very fast, and they're urging everyone to pack their patience. The holiday travel rush is in high gear this Labor Day weekend in New England.
People are moving, they're out there, they want that last hurrah before they get back into the grind of September.
With AAA reporting a 9% increase in travel bookings this year compared to 2023. A driving factor, travel-friendly gas prices.
Today's average in Connecticut is $3.38 per gallon. That is about 42 cents cheaper than it was this time last year. So getting that break at the pump is certainly good news.
And this Labor Day weekend, drivers across the region are soaking up more than just the last bit of summer sun.
We've seen this trend continue since the pandemic, and what we're hearing from customers is that they want experiences. So people are looking to travel, they're looking to see different parts of the country, and they want to make those memories more so than concrete, material items. They want the experience.
If you're hitting the road this holiday weekend, AAA says the worst times to drive are Friday from 2 to 6 p.m., Saturday morning between 8 and 10 a.m., Sunday 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Monday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if you want to beat the traffic, the key is to leave early in the morning or late at night, or choose the road less traveled.
We know that the roadways are going to be crowded, so plan ahead. Make sure you know your route ahead of time. Sometimes the back road might be a little bit longer mileage-wise, but it'll keep you moving and is usually more scenic. So plan your route accordingly, knowing that there is going to be traffic.
Just have a plan. Another good idea is to have an emergency kit in your vehicle with plenty of water, even some jumper cables, and in the event you get stuck, of course. AAA says you can never be too prepared for a road trip.
Well, today is also expected to be the busiest travel day for the Labor Day holiday weekend on record at the airports. TSA says it expects to screen around 17 million people during the Labor Day travel period. That time frame of heavy volume began yesterday and will continue through Wednesday. But today was expected to be the busiest day with about 2.86 million people hopping on a plane. They tell us this has been the summer of air travel as volume is more than 8% higher than last year at this time.
And as you make those holiday plans, let's talk about the weather. It is looking like it's going to cooperate for most of the holiday weekend.
Most of it. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frame joining us now. Rach, mostly your weekend plans are okay. Maybe some things popping up on Sunday, right?
Yeah, I think we start dry, we finish dry, but in between on Sunday, there will be a chance for at least a few scattered showers or a rumble of thunder. Even Sunday is not a total washout, but maybe that's the most iffy day for outdoor plans and activities. Right now, it is gorgeous, near 70 degrees, lots of sun, low humidity. If you like this, you're going to love Labor Day because we're pretty much doing it all over again. 71 right now, or 70 in Chester, 68 currently in Groton, and you can see clouds just to the west of us all day long, but we lucked out. We've been on the sunny side of the street. This is the front that we are tracking that will move through later Saturday into Sunday, bringing the humidity out ahead of it, and then a drop in the humidity for Labor Day itself. So lows tonight will be falling back into the 60s for most of the state. Heading into the day tomorrow, we begin with mostly cloudy to cloudy skies, a slight chance for an isolated shower or sprinkle, some brightening possible in the afternoon with highs in the 70s to near 80 degrees and rising levels of humidity. We'll talk more about that shower chance for Saturday night and Sunday coming up.
All right, Rachel, thanks. Talk soon. And just into our newsroom, Oxford has set a date for school to start. Classes were supposed to return this week, but flooding pushed it back. We've just confirmed with the superintendent that students will return in less than 1 week from now, next Thursday, September 5th. The superintendent tells Fox 61 this is their plan for now. It can change. The biggest concern was closed and damaged roads and making buses very hard to travel through, and then redo several of the bus routes. We'll keep you updated on if anything changes, but for right now, school start next Thursday.
And speaking of the roads, Governor Ned Lamont says crews have been working working around the clock to repair roads damaged by the flooding. So far, 23 of the 30 roads closed have been reopened. 4 of the 5 impacted rail lines are back up and running. The state is now offering an interactive map showing which roads are still closed. Lamont also reminding impacted businesses that they can begin applying for funds from the state's micro grant program on Tuesday, September 3rd. A link to that interactive map and information on the grant program can be found on our website, fox61.com. Meanwhile, FEMA is taking a closer look in Southbury at the damage from the historic flooding. Crews are taking pictures and speaking with homeowners and documenting the impact. Now, this helps determine if and how much federal money can be used to rebuild the area. Homeowners and business owners can also self-report damage on the state's website. That information is used by FEMA to get a better idea of how many people are affected.
We want to see all the damage that the state of Connecticut wishes for us to see and shows us, and we are committed to staying here as long as it takes to accomplish this mission.
Now, FEMA already looked at damage in Oxford this week. Across western Connecticut, more than 200 businesses and 2,000 homeowners have self-reported damages or impacts.
Additional charges have been filed in connection to an assault investigation involving a Middletown daycare. Police arresting Christy Kovarsik back in March for allegedly assaulting a 2-year-old at the Town Country Early Learning Center. Now they say surveillance video shows her and another teacher, Anima Rahman, mishandling other 2-year-olds in their care. Kovarsik and Rahman both no longer work at this daycare. In other news, a man is in custody after New Haven police say he threw 3 suspicious devices near government buildings.
Now, those devices turned out to have nothing dangerous in them, and the area is back open tonight. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc has the latest.
This New Haven intersection is back open and busy again after being shut down for hours this morning while police looked into suspicious devices they say were thrown by a man in the direction of the government buildings here.
Immediately I was like, something is wrong. We need to either back away and just wait, or we need to speak to somebody and see what's going on.
Akeelia Barnett and several others making their way to downtown New Haven this morning just after 7 a.m. when they were greeted by this heavy police presence right outside 200 Orange Street.
A couple of officers was like, we're dealing with a situation, just give us a few, if anything we can wait in the green. So we went to the green, sat down.
The bomb squad, robots, and other technology were put to use as officers blocked off Orange and Elm Streets following a report from a city employee.
They noticed someone with a backpack that was tossing metal containers in several locations around City Hall, behind Orange Street, and in the vacant lot behind me.
They were long metal cylinders, essentially.
Officers evacuated the Hall of Records and City Hall, ordering other nearby buildings to shelter in place as they found all 3 containers, x-rayed, and opened them, ultimately finding nothing inside.
When we have suspicious packages, like, you don't know what you don't know. So we don't want to assume that it's just a piece of garbage, because it may not be.
Within 2.5 hours, officers found and arrested the suspect not too far from downtown. Now, as detectives dig into what he was doing and why, they're glad they sprung into action.
I'm glad that there was nothing that came out of this, but we always want to respond to make sure, absolutely sure, that our community is safe.
A community startled by the police presence, but relieved with the results.
I feel very safe, very secure, calm come down quite a bit.
Now, police tell us they are working with the state's attorney's office to bring charges here. As for what those charges are and who this man is, those details aren't public yet. We are in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Julia, thank you. State police are investigating after a woman was hit and killed in a crash on Route 12. It happened yesterday afternoon around 3:45. State police say a man driving a BMW ended up driving across the road and onto a sidewalk. 78-year-old Bernice LaRochelle was hit as she was walking. Police say the driver also hit a street sign, a post office, and a Jeep, which then rammed into another vehicle. The driver of the BMW was taken to the hospital, we're told, with minor injuries.
An agreement has been reached to address conditions for children at the Manson Youth Institution in Cheshire. The Justice Department and the Connecticut Department of Correction agreed that Manson will eliminate the use of disciplinary isolation on children in its custody. Under the agreement, Manson will also implement a behavior management program that incentivizes positive behavior. This agreement now resolves the Justice Department's investigation of Manson after it received reports of violations back in 2021.
Tomorrow is International Overdose Awareness Day, and today New Haven officials hosted a public health and wellness fair in observance of that day. Now, the event was held on the New Haven Green, and that's the spot where dozens of people overdosed in the span of 2 days back in 2018. This year's event had the theme of Together We Can, highlighting the power of unity and community.
The most important thing, I would say, for young families is to have some Narcan in the house, because a lot of times opiates are found getting mixed in with other things that kids might try, and it's very important that you can rescue somebody.
Last year, 116 people died from drug overdose in the city of New Haven.
Well, as we've said, tomorrow is the day marked internationally for overdose awareness. This week, Connecticut State Senator Dr. Saud Anwar, chair of the Public Health Committee, sat down one-on-one with Emma Wolfhorst. He says a lot of Connecticut communities are finding success by expanding Narcan access and training and funding services through the state's opioid settlement funds. But Senator Anwar plans to reintroduce his plea at the state capitol for harm reduction and safe consumption sites. These places offer medical oversight and care, needle exchange, Narcan, and fentanyl test strips.
Data shows that they are not increasing the usage. It is only giving the people an opportunity to be able to be in a safer environment. In parts of Europe, they've had them for 40 years. In Vancouver, they've had it over 20 years. Wow. And they have saved thousands of lives. And in New York as well, now there's a safe consumption site which is actually saving a lot of lives every single day. We will have to have serious conversation around this topic, because if we really want to save lives, this is the way to do it. You have to be alive to get rehabilitation.
Across the state, there are services available, including treatment, support groups, Narcan, and more. To find resources near you, call 211 or go on the site. You can see Emma and Senator Anwar's full conversation air Sunday morning on The Real Story.